My entitled mother disowned me when I was 7 because her new husband didn't like me, but now wants my help. Years later, I am my mother's oldest biological child. When I was 5, my father passed away and she remarried my stepdad when I was 6. When I was 7, I was sent away to live with my father's sister, who lived states away because my mother's husband didn't want me to live there anymore. They used to pay my aunt a little money to watch me, but when I was 11, that stopped. My aunt and uncle worked low-paying jobs and had 2 of their own children, so they really couldn't afford the extra expense of having me around without that help. Despite that, they let me stay and continued to treat me like one of their own. I very rarely saw my mom. I think I saw her 3 times between 7 and 18. She never even called. She went on to have 3 more children with my stepdad and never formally introduced me to them. Growing up, I used to stalk my siblings and parents on social media. That's actually how I found out I have half-siblings. I stalked them to see what their life was like, and it was polar opposite to mine. They regularly went on expensive vacations, lived in a massive house, and owned the latest gadgets. I went to college and got married at 23. My mother and siblings have no idea I'm married. I'm currently 28 and doing well financially. My husband and I own our own home. We have several very profitable investments and work high-paying jobs. My cousins and I all contributed to help my aunt and uncle to finally purchase their own home last year. Recently, my mom showed up to my aunt's house begging for financial help. Apparently, my stepdad suffered from a gambling addiction a few years ago and lost all their savings. He then slunk into alcoholism as a way to cope and ended up losing his job, and they can't afford to keep their house without help. My aunt explained she didn't have any money to help her. When my mother demanded to know how she could afford her new house if she had no money, she explained what me and my cousins had done. My mom then asked for my number. When she called me and explained the situation, I told her I couldn't help. She kept begging me and claimed my siblings would be made homeless if I didn't help them. I told her maybe she should sell some of their fancy stuff or they could all get jobs like my cousins, and I had to. I hung up before she could reply. Since then, I have been receiving message after message from my mom, my siblings, and even my stepdad begging me for help. I have never spoken to my siblings in my life. They've begun harassing my husband and my sister-in-law. They've also reached out to my aunt and cousins multiple times trying to get them to convince me to change my mind.